Hi everyone, the afternoon task for today is to write a B fact file, so I just thought I'd give you some more help and some more clarification on that, especially with the use of using the children's phonics and things like that. So here's the fact file here, which you'll find in the pack, and that is what we want the children to use to write with. So to start, we want your child to research all about a bee. It can be anything, but obviously the main focuses will be where bees live, where bees eat, and bees survive. Also, if you have a look on YouTube, there's loads of informative videos for the children to listen to, or you can type it into Google and read it to the children. I know Miss Newborn has put some documents on for you as well on the school website for you to use. So it's really good for the children to understand that if they want information, and they can get it from the internet, but you can also get it from books as well. So if you have got books which could help with this, then please use them as well. So as always, before we start, we remind the children about their precursive handwriting. And obviously this morning the task was to practice the handwriting, so you might have practiced all of the letters, you might have just practiced some of the ones you know your child needs to work on, you might have also practiced doing the capital letters as well. So there's just a reminder of the letters, and also for some of the children, capital letters to start every sentence, a finger space after every word, a full stop to show the end of a sentence, and we think it's really important that the children read back their work so they can self-correct and they can see when they've made mistakes. So go back to that if you need to, but that's really important. So remembering that our ascenders are tall, our descenders go under the line, and the rest of the letters stay the same size. And this shows us quite well with the use of the red and the blue lines. So obviously the children need their sound mats. So we hope that all of the children are now confident with phase 2, and that nearly most of the children are confident with their phase 3 sound, and also with the tricky words, or the memory words as we call them, and the high frequency words. And if you want to have those mats up, then that's absolutely fine as well. Obviously the children will write phonetically, so I've just written something here which the children might write. Obviously I don't want them to copy this, I want it to be their own work and what they find out. This is just an example to help, especially with the phonics. So I've written bees live, so obviously they might not know how to spell bees and live properly, but this says bees live here, so they should be able to copy that and understand that that says bees live. So bees live in lots of places. So places looks very strange, but place is places. See phonetics using the sound map, picking up the sounds. Some of the children might be able to spell it correctly because it is a phase 5 split digraph, which we don't teach until year 1. Obviously finger spaces after every word, so we always try to stress that and emphasis after every word. So bees live in lots of places. Like the garden, or forest with a full stop. And you can see here I've tried to make sure that the ascenders are tall and the descenders go under the line. So for the next sentence, I'd like the children to see if they can read my sentence to show that they can read my work back to me. So we'll start with this word is they make a nest inside trees where they can make honey, and then I've got a full stop there. So the children should be able to read their own work back like they've read mine back. Some of the children, if they're not quite there yet with writing sentences and writing this long, they might just want to write shorter sentences, shorter captions, so they might just put in the garden or in the forest, or they make a nest instead of making the longer sentences. But as we are moving into year 1, we do want to start to use those connectives such as and other words to make those sentences longer. So there is the first one. So the second part is about what the bees eat. So this time I'd like the children to read it to understand. Again, like I've said before, this is what I have written. The children need to write independently their own ideas. This is just, we like to call them a waggle, which is what a good one looks like, and just shows the children what we expect. And obviously it is in text, not my handwriting, so it is a bit different. So this time I want the children to have a go. So if you pause this now and see if the children can read what I've written. Hopefully, children, you have read that really well back to your mummies and daddies, and we'll go over it now together. So we've got bees eat. Now that says bees eat there, so I expect you to copy that one there, but you might not write eat like that. That is a phase 5 sound. We might write it like E, as in this one, as in E and leak. So bees eat nectar and pollen. Now some of the words like pollen I've written correctly because the children, you might give the children some of the vocabulary you want them to use. So they might have words like that and things like nectar and things like that. That is completely up to you. We sometimes do that with our word walls and our word banks and give the children some of the correct spellings that they don't know. So bees eat nectar and pollen from flowers to make honey, and then there's a full stop. The memory word, go is a memory word and to is a memory word. Sweet things. That is a high frequency word, so expect them to know that one very quickly. That's segmenting and blending. Again, another memory word, we eat. Like, obviously your child might know how to spell the word like correctly instead of phonetically. Fruit and sugar because they think it is nectar. And again, like before, if your child's struggling to write their longer sentences, then they might want to write them smaller. So bees eat nectar, or bees eat pollen, bees go on to flowers, things like that. Again, reminding the children always of things from before, about our letter formation, our capital letters, our finger spaces, our full stop, and for them to read their writing back. And then lastly, bees survive. Survive is a piece of vocab which is quite difficult and they might not have heard of before. So I would, if I said to them, when do bees live or when do bees die, they would be able to tell me. But if I said the word survive, I don't know if they would understand. So it would be nice for you to go over the word survive with them and its understanding, broadening their vocabulary. So obviously here, again, I've written it completely phonetically. Again, this differs for each child. They might not be able to write as phonetically as I have. They might not be able to write at such length. They might know the phase 5 sound. They might know the phase 4 memory words and be able to write them on their own. So I'm just going to quickly see if you get your child, see if they can read this. If they can't read it, then you know that they are not going to write at this standard. So children, you have a go and see if you can read Miss Davies's work. Hopefully that helps. I'll just read it to you quickly. Bees survive in the summertime as there are flowers for them to fly onto to eat pollen. Now, I have written the eat there different to the eat before because they might not have remembered the eat from the previous sections, and that is okay. Now, they might be able to write there, and they should be able to write are the memory word instead of the sound. But if not, that is okay. In the winter, bees die and the queen bee hibernates under the ground. So sometimes the children might need help, so you might have to keep repeating the word hibernate. So they might write the word hi and then look at you, and if you emphasize hi, b, n, 8. That will really help them, but we would like them to try and write independently as possible. And yes, that is our B fact file. I hope that helped, and if you have any questions or need anything, then just let us know.